Hello, intuitive friends, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For my current subscribers, welcome back. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you're watching this after the live stream, we'll go straight to the description box down below and tap those or click those timestamps. Okay. If you are watching this as a live stream, I haven't placed the timestamps yet, but we'll do so right after the live. Thank you so much for joining. Let me do a quick mic check, make sure that you guys can hear me, that everything is a-okay. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Wonderful. Hello, Aries, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are an Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or however Aries may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on your no contact ex, what they've come to realize after all has been said and done. But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just look down below in the description box and you'll be able to see my links. I'm so sorry. I'm just making sure there's not way too much glare here, but enough. Let's see. But enough light. My apologies. That should be good. Alrighty. That being said, let's take a look here, Aries, at your no contact acts. What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? Okay, Aries, let's take a look here. What have they realized? What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? Now, remember, Aries, it doesn't matter who may have decided to part ways in this either breakup, separation, or divorce. But let's see what your no contact ex, what they've come to realize after all has been said and done. All right, Aries, they have here hiding their true selves. Hiding their true selves. There are two people here dressed in red. Now, red is the color of the energy body center connected to the root chakra. And I do feel here that there were some changes or some shifts that this person may have gone through or was going through at the time of your connection. Now, hiding their true selves, I do feel an imbalance. Okay, there was probably here an imbalance happening when, or like there was a lack of harmony here in something, and something that was actually important and deeply rooted. Now, this could have been the stability in their finances. It could have been their stability in emotionally. Could have been their stability in being able to think about things clearly, cut the confusion. All right. But I do feel that there may have been here this sense of imbalance. What I'm also getting here is that pride may have gotten in the way in this situation with this person, or when you guys were together, because there's something about not being able to be transparent in an aspect of their lives that was important, that was a foundation. Maybe they didn't have a stable family unit as well. This could be that as well. But I feel that they were hiding, or a lack of transparency connected to something that was very important. So there's a sense here of lack of being grounded, but we'll see how else this unfolds here. Now, the number, they do have here the number 14. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. And 5 are all about changes, okay? So this no contact X may have gone through a lot of changes while they were in the connection, may have gone through a lot of changes once they were no longer in the connection. Now, again, whether it was you, Aries, who decided to part ways, or whether it was this no contact X, either way, there was a shift. And the shift rocked them to the core, so to speak. Now, the chakras of the root, sacral, and solar plex usually deal with the early foundations in life. So usually very much connected to family, upbringing, childhood, and things of that nature, because that's when we're forming all those connections when we're younger. So it could have been something connected to that or leaning towards that. But whatever this may have been for this person, it could have also been something financial, career-wise, but they weren't being honest with themselves. And if a person is unable to be honest with themselves, it's going to be very difficult for them to be honest with other people. Okay. So there was something here that they didn't share, whether it was, again, lack of transparency, whether it was that they felt a bit unstable in something connected here to the root foundation of an aspect of their life, whether that be in love, career, family. Let's see what else comes through here for this person, Aries. What have they come to realize? Healthy choices, yeah, and seduction. Interesting. All right, so healthy choices is about the self-love and the self-care that perhaps at this moment in time, either when they were in a connection with you or what they've come to realize after the fact, is that they weren't, there wasn't a healthy balance here, okay? Not only was there, and by the way, there are two cards here. So these two cards could be interconnected, and in some cases they may be two separate messages. Okay, so just want to give you the heads up on that. The first message that I'm getting, of course, is about that self-care and self-love that maybe here they were lacking, because remember, we talked about that root chakra, which may not have been as stable or as grounded or as secure as they may have wanted it to be. And again, the root and the foundation and the stability could have been in any area of their life, but there was something here that they weren't being honest about. There was something here in regards to the lack of self-love and self-care that also added to this imbalance that I was feeling at the top of the reading. So that's the first message. The second message here, again, may be connected or maybe not. So take it as it may resonate. They do have here connection. And because there was this energy that I was feeling at the top of the reading, where I feel that this person lacked the stability, the security, or maybe here the internal balance here in their root chakra, it in a way kind of, there lacked stability in many other things, okay, or in other areas that was super important to this person. So much so that this person could have been the type of individual that was in the hooking up stage or in the casual dating or living in this energy of three-party situations, okay? Now, when I say third three-party situation, a third-party type of situation. It could be connected to another individual. In other words, they may have felt that they were torn between two people. So it's the same person, but different energy with different, there could have been two other people. It could have been you and someone else. Okay. So there's this sense of feeling divided, feeling torn between two people that they may have cared deeply about. Now, of course, it could be in the area of romance, or this could also be the third party, could be some external force. For example, torn between love and career, or personal journey and love, or career and home life and family, things of that nature. So there could have been that kind of, in a way, tug of war, or the sense of, for a lack of a better word, I'm going to say two-faced, but again, it's like this kind of like being one person in one situation, being another person in another situation. And again, that may be, or they may have been, for a lack of security or a lack of stability. Now, I feel though that this person, the reason they may have done this in regards to, like, again, hooking up, very casual, third party type of energy. There was a sense here of needing validation. Okay. So no matter what you may have been able to pour into this person, there was a lack that this no contact X may have felt at their core that had nothing to do with you, Aries. So is this energy of just their own, in a way, internal struggle. And one of the coping mechanisms could have been here their very casual situationship, friends with benefits, hooking up with different people, needing that validation in their lives because they couldn't feel that sense of security and stability within themselves. So it was unhealthy. Okay. Now, after all has been said and done, I feel that this person may have realized how unhealthy those coping mechanisms were, or those strategies were. And it's coming across as like there's an awareness now. There's an awareness on that they needed to heal themselves, that they needed to pour into themselves and care for themselves in a way that had nothing to do with you or other people. This was, I feel like, an internal type of work. And as I said at the top of the reading, remember, root, sacral, and solar plex chakras are very much connected to the root and the foundation. And what is the root and the foundation of every human being at the start of their lives? Family. So this could have been very much something that may have happened in their early childhood stages and developed into, again, unhealthy patterns. It could have been this lack of transparency. They were hiding their true intentions, or they just didn't even know what they wanted. Okay. Well, let's keep going here and see what else is coming through in regards to this no contact X. After all that has been said and done, let's see what else is coming through. After all that has been said and done, what have they come to realize? They have here, free yourself. They also have life partner here. So there's definitely a connection here that they felt with you, Aries. Now, free yourself says it's time to take back control of your life. Again, it's a difficult thing to do when your core and your center aren't aligned with your true self. Like you're not understanding, or you don't know where you want to go, who you really are, what you really stand for. These are just examples that I'm giving you here. But if a person doesn't have a true stability and a true sense of security in themselves, like they know themselves very well, or they know what their values are, what their core values are, all that important information that has nothing to do with anyone else other than themselves. There's this energy here that they may have lacked that sense of focus, because again, I feel that the root chakra was a little bit either blocked or not as stable. Okay. They do have here, free yourself. It says it's time to take back control of your life. It's difficult to gain control if you don't know where you're going or you don't know what you want, right? And again, I feel that this person, after all that was said and done, is in a more mature, healthier place now, where they're able to say, okay, I know where I'm going, I know what I want. There isn't this sense of duality here for some, or there's a sense of this blocking of the root chakra, being more healed or being more centered, okay, being unblocked. I do feel here, Aries, that this X did see you as a life partner. They realized that they had a good connection, they had the passion, they had the chemistry here. It says your romance is stable and ready to go the distance. But it's so funny because remember that I said at the top of the reading, I don't feel that this person's root was as stable as they may have wanted it to be, or as stable as it should have been, in order for them to be able to guide themselves and feel the sense of stability and security. But they saw that stability in you, Aries. They saw your ability to, be a leader. Okay, so free yourself. They saw you being able to lead, you being able to be very focused on where you were going and what you wanted and your core values. And there may have been here a very distinct type of polar opposite energy where they may not have been as grounded, as stable, or as secure. But you, on the other hand, Aries, may have been more secure, more stable, more focused on what you wanted out of life, where you wanted to go, how you wanted to do it. You may have even had a mental plan, okay, or a 5-year plan or a 4-year plan. That sense of security that you were able to be this natural born leader, they saw that as a beautiful plus, a unique personality, an important point for both of you to grow. And they may not have told you how lost or how unstable they may have felt in different areas of their life. And if they did, it may not have been easy for them to admit. And I feel it's more about the fact that you may have picked up on it. And whether it was you that made the decision or whether it was them that made the decision, I do feel that this person had thought a lot about the situation. I feel that you were that unicorn to them. You were that special someone. Again, they have here the unicorn, they also have your life partner. So there was something that was very magical and special within this connection between you, Aries, and this no contact X. And this is what they've come to realize after all has been said and done. Okay. Let's take a look at what else is coming through for this person. What have they come to realize? What has Aries no contact X come to realize after all has been said and done? Let's see. So they have here hiding their true selves. And they have here, look at that, guarded. Remember that I said at the top of the reading, there's something here that feels not as secure, not as stable. It may have been difficult for them to voice that, show that, say that, because of your natural leadership abilities here, Aries. It's like you had it together and maybe they didn't have it as put together as you. And there could have been a feeling here of insecurity in an or inadequacy. And that may have created this type of energy where if they needed validation confirmation, again, this is this person's idea. They could have gotten validation by just talking to multiple people, DMing multiple people, getting attention. And that attention seeking type of energy was because of that lack of stability here, or lack of security within themselves. And they may have been, again, guarded or jaded. They may, again, like I said, if they're not sure about who they are and where they're going, if they're hiding their true selves from even themselves, it's going to be very difficult for them to be honest and transparent with anybody else. If you can't be honest with yourself, it's going to be super difficult, if not impossible, to be honest and transparent with other people. Because the first step starts with you. So that makes a lot of sense. I feel this person may have been easily swayed. Again, could have been a good sweet talker with hooking up with people, third party energy. They could have been very charming, flirty, validation, confirmation. And what I said before, it's like they needed that type of attention. I do see the angel number 33 here. That could be here important in some way, shape, or form. All right, sorry. Okay, just making sure here that this was still recording. So yeah, angel number 33. Let's see what else is coming through in regards to this person. What they have come to realize after all has been said and done. Separation. Okay. This says here, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. Of course, that makes sense. They were unsure of the future. Why? Because they lacked a security or foundation that was needed in order for them to know what they really wanted, what their core values were, what their plan was for the future or near future. There was a sense of uncertainty here within themselves. And that may have created here the breakup, separation, or divorce. As well as, in some cases, there could have been that feeling of wanting to be validated by other people and getting themselves into a third-party situation. Okay. They do have here influence and sway as well as seduction. So again, a lot of this energy of trying to gain attention here. Let's see what else is coming through for this person with this no contact X. what they may have come to realize after all was said and done. Last but not least, let's see what else is coming through. Ooh, so they have here the Queen of Wands. You could have been or you can, you probably still are, but I'm saying there was something here about you being super attractive, charming, leader. Okay, this is about you. They've realized that this life partner, like I said before, validation, confirmation, there were qualities about you that were super unique. What they've come to realize is that you may have been the one that got away. You may have been this person that through your, you know, ability to be charismatic, focus, passionate, motivated, ambitious, and have the sense of ambition and drive, and you were motivated. You showed them what it was to be a rock solid person in areas that they felt they weren't rock solid in. And listen, and then it may not be here for all of you, but I feel here that this person, if this person decided to part ways, they may have resorted to people that were very different than you, meaning kind of like that low hanging fruit type of energy where they didn't have to work as hard or, because they weren't unsure. You see what I'm saying? It's like they went from top tier with you to lower tier with, with other people here. And again, it's because lower tier means minimal effort, means I don't have to be as consistent. I don't have to be so much on point. I can give the bare minimum, and someone who's not used to getting anything in life will settle for the bare minimum. But I feel that that's not your case here, Aries. That wasn't you. And so they needed to step up. They needed to know what it is that they wanted. They needed to let their guard down. They needed to be transparent here and create healthy environments for themselves in order to be able to move forward in their life and create that security or that balance here that they may not have had here growing up, or they may not have felt in their life in general. Look at that, the Death card. There was a sense of transformation that occurred after this breakup, separation, or divorce. Now, whether it was right away or whether it took time, again, this is a general reading, but remember, they have here free themselves, life partner, Queen of Wands, and the Death card. The Death card is ruled by Scorpio. Okay, and because it's a major arcana, this could be very much a very long type of transition and transformation that this person went through. Because although the Death card is about something being dead, done, and over with, it is definitely very much connected to the transformative stage in life that we need to go through. And sometimes we need to go through it when a cycle ends, and that intensity creates a deep sense of change or some type of emotional rebirth. So there was a sense of a rude awakening when this relationship, was dead, done, and over with. And that may have shook them to the core, and it may have made them realize, Aries was someone super amazing. Aries was, a life partner. Aries is the person I just find super unique, like this unicorn, which is looking towards my left-hand side. And the left-hand side here is the past or recent past. So they think about that. And this person has come to realize that either you are a very important person in their life, or they haven't been able to fill your shoes in regards to their love life. So yes, they may have moved on. Yes, they may have, gone their separate ways, but there's a special place in their heart that they have for you, Aries, because of the qualities that make you you, Aries, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget that I do 5-minute live readings. So if you want to take part in those live readings, all you need to do is make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell and all notification alerts. Aries, I hope those messages have been insightful. And now we're going to be focusing on Leo. Hello, Leo, and welcome. Well, hi, Leo, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lexa Tarot, and whether you are a Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or however Leo may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today, Leo, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on your no contact ex. What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box and click on those links down below. That being said, for those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers, and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. As you know, these are all free channel messages. Feel free to share my YouTube channel link with like-minded souls. Okay, Leo, let's take a look here at your no contact ex. What they've come to realize after all has been said and done. Now, it doesn't matter who initiated the breakup, separation, or divorce. We're just trying to see here what they've come to terms with. What have they realized after this breakup, separation, or divorce? Whether this breakup, separation, or divorce was many years ago, whether it was recent, or however that may be. But let's see. This no contact ex has addicted. Okay. So there could have been here bouts of jealousy. There could have been here this energy of being obsessive or even addicted to old patterns of behavior, substances, self-sabotaging thoughts, limited beliefs. This card is giving me the mixture energetically, the mixture of the Devil card and the 10 of Swords. And it's not so much about the releasing of the 10 of Swords, but the fact that they may have realized after all has been said and done that a lot of their issues dealing with either jealousy, being compulsive, having a compulsive personality, obsessed, having a lack of moderation, very much attached to their old patterns of behavior, like I'm the way that I am, and so you just got to deal with it type of energy or type of mindset, that they may have hurt you. They're either lack of transparency in those areas, especially if they were very much addicted to a substance or to a type of life, that they do regret the fact that they hurt you. They regret the lies or the lack of transparency that they needed to, that they resorted to in order to cope with their inadequacy or their insecurities. And I feel here, Leo, that this person felt it was very difficult for them to stop doing or stop being or pivot from this energy here that was either lower vibrational or it wasn't healthy. It was a struggle. And you see this person here with a chain. It's like the chain is around their neck, again, like the Devil card in tarot. And then a lot of swords here in the back, like I said, like the 10 of Swords. So there was a lot of pain here that this person was carrying within themselves that may have been shown in your connection. And this is not about making excuses for what may have happened or their decisions, but it's understanding what they have come to realize after the breakup, separation, or divorce. So there is a part of them that realizes that there was something here that they were carrying for quite some time that wasn't healthy. It was difficult for them to pivot into a direction where they had to stop, whether this was a mindset, this could have been a perspective, this could have been their ideals. This could also be, again, like very much a coping mechanism that was not healthy. Okay. Let's see what else. What has this person come to realize after all has been said and done? Let's see what's coming through. What have they come to realize? What has Leo's no contact ex have come to realize? There could have been here just a pattern with this person also. Like a pattern, something that they did over and over and over and over again, that they felt stuck in. It was difficult for them to let that pattern go, whether it was anger management issues, whether it was like literally addiction. Okay. It's as if they let go of their will to be able to fight this, or they just felt powerless in regards to whatever this was that they were dealing with and whatever it is that they were coping with. They have here sunglasses, watching, looking, perception, stalking. I feel here, Leo, that this person may have been a little bit reclusive after this breakup, separation, or divorce. I do feel that they realized a lot of things that maybe you mentioned or that you brought up, to them. It was difficult for them to look at that reality or to look at it from the point of view that you were sharing with them at some point. But I do feel that after time may have gone on, they had no choice but to really take a look at themselves and see what their past, recent past, or traumas, or again, like I said, like the devil card in tarot, what their compulsions were, their vices were, their old patterns of behavior were. They had to take a close look at it. And I think they've come to realize here that whatever was said by you here, Leo, or whatever it was that was done, whether it was that you decided to leave, Leo, or whether it was that they decided to part ways, they had to deal at some point in time with whatever it was that they were turning a blind eye to. So sunglasses is coming across as them having to, and it's funny because Leo, you are, by the way, look at this. I was just going to say that, but I want to show you here. It says shine. You are ruled by the sun. That's your ruler. Okay, Leo? So you shining brightly, or you being an optimist, or you being very honest and clear and giving them, meaning your no contact acts, a piece of your mind or an opinion or whatever, however this went down. It's like they could not handle that much clarity. They could not handle that much of your light shining through. They had to wear sunglasses. So they either one or two things, they left, or you were like, listen, I gotta shine. I gotta be me. I gotta tell you how things are. I gotta share with you what I see, because what I see is someone who's struggling. And that may be here what you may have shared with them, Leo. Okay. I do feel that after this breakup, separation, or divorce, this person may have resorted to watching your social media accounts, taking a look at your profiles, things of that nature, like picture profiles and things of that nature. Why? Well, because they needed more time to heal. Remember that I said this person could have had some addictive personalities, okay? Some type of compulsive obsessiveness with either a pattern of behavior or whether this was substances or coping mechanisms. And again, it says here toxicity or addiction, okay? Abusive relationship, healing heartbreak. So there was something here that this person struggled with even before you. And I think that your level of shining your Leo light on things that were difficult for this person, however it was that this breakup, separation, or divorce may have gone down, it really set them into a path of healing themselves, like truly healing themselves, you know, really looking at those things that were not conducive to a healthy sense of self first, and then that contributed to the unhealthiness that was in the connection. And of course, it takes two to tango. So I'm not saying that it's all this person, but the fact that they had a lot of luggage, so to speak. They had a lot of either emotional baggage, mental baggages, addictions, obsessions, compulsive, anger management issues. This, this level of unhealed type of energy could have shown itself in myriad of ways, in many different ways, in various ways, right? And they had to sit with it. They had to, it's what I'm getting here is that they had to sit in the consequences of their actions or in the consequences of their decisions, and it was difficult. What they came to realize is that they needed to heal. And you may have brought that to light to them here, Leo. All right, let's see what else is coming through. Remember that after Leo, I will be doing the Sagittarius reading right after. And they have here unrequited love. I feel that this unrequited love and rendezvous. I feel that this unrequited love is their lack of loving themselves. Because a person who lacks the sense of self-love is not going to, if you love yourself, you're not going to allow yourself to continue with something that really isn't positive or isn't healthy. So I feel this unrequited love was their inability to really truly love themselves so that then they could give that love out. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel that the level of either toxic type of, or unhealthy patterns, I like to say, is I feel like toxic is like it's overused, but it's really about not being able to heal. That's where that stems from. Unrequited love, it says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And I feel that maybe it's been some of the cases that may have been the case, but I feel that this is a lack of self-love and their inability to love themselves first and, heal themselves first, or choose healthier strategies or healthier ways of coping, is what contributed here to this breakup, separation, or divorce, and maybe even to decisions that now in hindsight 2020 they may regret. Okay, they have here rendezvous. It says a private getaway for two is calling. I do feel that they valued the time together. There was passion, chemistry, attraction here. Okay, I feel that this no contact X They've come to realize that there was a very special connection here with you. One that perhaps they weren't able to sustain due to their own insecurities or inadequacies, or due to their own addictions or compulsive or obsessive choices here. And let's see what else is coming through here for this person. Your no contact ex, what have they come to realize? Okay, they have here flirt, and they also have here heartbreak. I feel one of the ways that they try to cope with this addiction, obsession, compulsive type of energy is that when things got sticky, when their actions may have created an environment where it may have been abusive, whether it was through words, actions, tempers flaring. I feel that the way that they tried to soothe or smooth over the connection here was by, the passion that you both, created, by the physical intimacy, so they could kind of like in a way smooth over the situations here that were underlining. Maybe here the I'm sorry's, the excuses, because I'm getting here using like a form of manipulation, just so that they can keep up this sense of addiction, obsession, or compulsive behavior here. And that's how they were able to soothe. Like I said, it says heartbreak here. That's how they were able to smooth over those moments that were difficult. Instead of working on themselves, they try to work on how can I superficially put a band-aid over the connection so that we can keep going. So heartbreak, grief, shattered. And this person could have had a very tough life. They could have had a very kind of emotional situation happening in their lives. And again, it may have resorted to some type of coping mechanisms that help them numb the pain or help them forget about whatever was troubling them or whatever was, in a way, eating them up inside, whatever was causing the sense of grief and the sense of hurt. Let's see what else is coming through. What have they come to realize after all has been said and done? So they have here the butterfly. Look at that. It says relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child. Remember that I talked about that healing. Healing has come out twice for this person. They have the butterfly and they have abundance. What I'm getting here energetically is that this person, after all has been said and done, has come to a very big realization. Okay, they've done the healing, they've done the work, or at least they've acknowledged the fact that there is something here that they do need to take a closer look at to heal and to grow. Okay, so again, they could be at the beginning phases of this growth and healing, or they could be at the tail end of this. So they could be at the caterpillar stage, or they could be at the butterfly stage. Okay. But what I'm getting here with the butterfly is that there's this sense of them realizing that this connection is a connection that they wanted to evolve in, They just may not have had the tools or the self-initiative to make those changes when they should have made those changes. The healing process for this person, I feel, energetically is coming through as needing more than just kind of self-reflection. This type of healing may have needed like therapists, rehab, things of that nature. They do have here abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. And I do feel that this person, after all that was said and done, they have realized the immense, they have a lot of gratitude for you. They are grateful for the experience that made them realize that they could no longer turn a blind eye at whatever it was here with sunglasses, whatever it was that they needed to heal through. And I feel that a lot of this, and even though this is like pink, I'm getting root chakra energy. So it's interesting because root, sacral, and solar plex is like all three of them. The lack of stability that they felt, the lack of confidence, or I should say motivation and drive to be able to cope and kind of kick the habit of whatever this was, and solar plex energy, the confidence to go through with it. I feel those are the three, and by the way, if you could see it, there are three different tones of pink here, which I'm getting like the three lower chakras of the body: root, sacral, and solar plex. So there was something here having to be healed in that, and they were appreciative of the insight. I feel this person has turned over a new leaf. And if they haven't turned over a new leaf, there is a sense of transformation. There is definitely here a lot of gratitude. I think things are way better than they were when this breakup, separation, or divorce may have occurred. Let's see what else is coming through, Leo. Let's see what else is coming through. Leo's no contact ex. By the way, that was the Six of Swords here. So it did a little peekaboo, but it didn't pop out. So Six of Swords is about leaving the mental baggages or the situation, circumstances, or events that are pulling on their energy. I have here the Queen of Cups. Like I said, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of gratitude and there's a lot of love here for you, Leo. Okay. Now, again, this message may not resonate for everyone, but this person had a lot of internal struggles. So if your no contact ex didn't have these really big struggles, then maybe this reading isn't for you. But this is definitely this energy here with the Queen of Cups. They viewed you, Leo, as a person who was loving, caring, compassionate. Look at that. Didn't I tell you that I had seen the Six of Swords doing a little pop up? Yeah, look at that. And the Hanged Man. There was a lot of reflection that they had to do, a lot of soul searching. They've changed their perspectives here. But they have the Queen of Cups with the Six of Swords. They realized that this breakup, separation, or divorce was something that, was difficult. But there's still a lot of love in their heart in connection to you here, Leo. And although they may have moved their separate ways, or both of you may have gone your separate ways, there is still love and compassion here that remains after all has been said and done. Leo, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, or subscribe. And if you are enjoying these messages, feel free to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell and all alerts. I also do 5-minute topic readings. So if you want to take part in that, make sure that you turn on your notification bell and all notification alerts. That being said, we're now going to go to the next and final sign, which is Sagittarius. But before I go on, I want to say thank you to all of you who are giving me a thumbs up, a like, a share, and those of you that are subscribing to the channel, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go to the next and final zodiac sign. And for those of you who are watching, I did this with all the signs. So I actually started backwards. Usually I start with Aries, but this time I started with the water sign. So Scorpio, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, they're done. Gemini, Leo, I'm sorry, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that's they're also done. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that is done as well. So all you need to do is take a look at the playlist and you'll be able to see. And then of course I kept the fire signs as the last sign. Okay. All right. That being said, let's start with Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or however Sagittarius may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on your no contact acts. What they've come to realize after all that has been said and done. But before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, my credentials, scheduling a private reading, then look down below in the description box. All that information is there down below. That being said, let's start this reading, Sagittarius. And like I said, I am focusing here on channeling messages about your no contact ex and what they may have come to realize after the breakup, separation, or divorce. Doesn't matter who initiated the breakup, separation, or divorce, but we're going to take a look at where they may be now, what they've come to realize. And let's see what's coming through here for Sagittarius. I mean, Sagittarius is X. There we go. Your ex, they have gilded regret. Wow, there's a lot of regret here. And look at that, atonement. Atonement is about, feeling of forgiveness here also. Wow, okay. So there's a lot here. A lot of heavy emotions here. Number one, there's a little bit here of a guilty conscience. Okay. So you're no contact ex, and they also have here the number 5. There could have been a very, very big or significant change that created this breakup, separation, or divorce. Now, I'm not saying it was all them, Sagittarius, but there was something here that they regret. Now, it could be an action or something that was said, or maybe something that wasn't said or wasn't done. Okay, so it could have been something said or not said, done or not done. There's a lot of regret here coming through with this card. And I feel that this regret is more mental than anything else. So they think a lot about a situation, circumstance, or an event that created or added or amplified this breakup, separation, or divorce. And it's as if they can't get it out of their mind. Now, whether it was you, Sagittarius, that decided to go your separate ways, or whether it was this no contact ex that decided to go their separate ways, either way, there's a lot of mental energy here. There's a lot of thinking about what happened and trying to rationalize it, trying to make sense of it, trying to figure something out that may have been confusing at the time. Hello, intuitive friends. My apologies. I actually didn't put uh, the the plug on this camera, so it actually ran out of battery. So my apologies. I just put it back on the plug there, but yeah. So like I was saying here with this person, Sagittarius, this is coming across as someone who, again, there's a lot of memories here. There's a lot of regret. Maybe, like I said, things that may have been left unsaid or not done. Memories here from the past or recent past that I feel is still kind of brewing in this person's mind. And a lot, I feel, has a lot to do with wishing that they would have done something differently, said something differently. This sense of regret here. Now, these two cards could be very much closely together, or this could be two separate energies, okay? So it all depends how that may be here, okay? Now, atonement is about feeling like they've needed to, to say I'm sorry, that they've needed to clear the air. There's a feeling here, or there's this, and I'm saying feeling, but it's more like the memories of things from the past or recent past. Like they need to forgive, whether it's forgive themselves, whether it's forgive you, Sagittarius, whether it's forgive themselves. But there's a sense here of them carrying the mental weight of the consequences or what has been left unsaid or not done here, that they've struggled, that they've carried with them. What they've come to realize is perhaps the manner in which something was done or what was said and done was, number one, difficult to bear. And it was difficult here for them to move on from. Especially with atonement, there may be things here that they wish they would have apologized for, or it could have been reversed. They wish they would have accepted the apology at the moment that it was done. So it could have been you apologizing to them or them apologizing to you. But atonement is that energy here about the ifs and the buts. If I would have done this, maybe this would have occurred, Let's see what else is coming through in regards to this no contact deck, Sagittarius. Let's see what they've come to realize after all has been said and done. And they have here the swords and the roses, a sword and rose. A lot of love with a lot of clarity. A lot of having to cut through the confusion. A lot of having to mentally disengage from the regret or ask for an apology here. Sword and rose says clarity and truth, and there may have been the sense of clarity that came through this breakup, separation, or divorce, or through those moments where words, and it's interesting because I'm getting words were like daggers. So there may have been a lot of argument. There may have been a lot of things said in a moment of anger or in the heat of an argument. Okay. So I'm getting here, there's this energy of a lot was revealed here through words, but also a lot was revealed here through romance. There's a lot of emotion here that this person carried, and that this no contact ex may have struggled with. Although this has a lot of swords, This, by the way, also says swords, but this also has a lot of water. So swords are about the mind. It's about the, the rational, being strategic, rational mind, common sense. Let's see what else is coming through. There was love here. It was just, I feel it's coming across as it was muddled. It was not seen as clearly through all of this energy that was going on here. It was difficult to see through the arguments. It was difficult to see through the backstabbing or the lack of moderation or the, the self-control here of the things said. Have here, is it safe to love? Yeah, it feels here that there was like a sense of like lack of safety. And what I mean lack of safety, I mean a vulnerable space to be able to share and to love. And I feel here that one of you, whether it was you, Sagittarius, or whether it was your no contact ex, it was difficult to open the heart. Opening the heart was difficult here. There was when things were good, they were really good, is how this is coming across. When things were good, it felt safe, hearts were open, there was an equal give and take. But the moment that tension brewed, or there was an argument, or there was a disagreement, all of this, it's as if the love took a back seat, and what took the forefront was the argument, the problem, the disagreement, and not the love, not the emotions, not the healthy emotions. It's as if unhealthy emotions or thoughts were at the forefront, which then was the reverse. Instead of the heart being open, it felt like a blockage. Instead of the giving and receiving, it felt either restrictive, or it felt like someone, or maybe both of you one person may have pulled their affection and their love back. The other person could have pulled back the communication. And again, swords coming across here as, by the way, they have a lot of swords. They have 1, 2, 3 cards talking about swords. So yeah, it's coming across that when it was good, it was real good, but when it was tough, it was really tough, all right, let's see what else is coming through. Okay, let's see what else is coming through. Steady and true. Steady is all about the stability and the consistency. True is about the authenticity of the connection. I feel that what this no contact acts, what they've come to realize is that, number one, there was a need to have more stability, more authenticity here, authenticity in the communication, transparency here, creating a safe space and place. They've come to realize that that was an important factor here that perhaps wasn't as stable as they may have wished it was, or as much as they wish they needed. And so that's why they have here strings. There was a sense of detachment here as time went on because of the lack of authenticity or transparency and the lack of stability here. And there may have been a lot of self-sabotaging thoughts or limited beliefs. So even if something wasn't the reality of something. It was that someone was creating even maybe an illusion of something here. So it feels like because things weren't perhaps addressed in a healthy way, instead of feeling, like I said, when things were good, they felt really, really good. But when things were tough, like I said, it was like someone holding back love, physical touch, holding back communication, giving the cold shoulder. So again, very much of a contrast here between the love of the steady and true here and the strings, leaving or letting things go. Let's take a look at what else is coming through. And then we have one more deck here, Sagittarius. All right, let's see what's coming through. Sword and Rose. Let's get some clarity here. And they have the Golden Mirror. Self-absorbed, one-sided relationship, love bombing, narcissist, okay? The Golden Mirror. There was a sense of regret here that this person, like I said, has. From the top of the reading, has come through with this gilded regret and this atonement. This Golden Mirror talks about that kind of self-absorbed or selfish energy. Remember that I was talking about that what was coming through energetically was this person letting go. Now, again, it could have been them. It could have been you, Sagittarius. It could have been either one of you. But someone backtracking or withdrawing here their love or their attention or their communication as a means of hurting the other person, which what ended up happening here is you end up hurting each other, but again, in hindsight 2020. And those tactics here of this either emotional disengagement, maybe even a difficulty here of apologizing with atonement, may have rocked the foundation here within this connection. And maybe even pride may have gotten in the way. And I think that they've come to realize those things, those actions here weren't the very best, which again is the reason why they have regret and atonement. There's a sense of looking at things from a very different perspective now and realizing that there was a lot of emotion that wasn't discussed because there was just so much of either the arguing, the disagreeing, the trying to hurt each other in different ways or punishing each other in different ways that weren't conducive to that rock steady connection that maybe you were hoping for or both of you were hoping for together as a couple. Last but not least, let's take a look at, is it safe for you to love? Let's get more clarity there. I do feel this rubber band effect here within this connection, moving closer sometimes, moving away from each other other times. So a lack of a lack of consistency here, a lack of stability or security made it difficult to feel as if this was a safe environment for this relationship to grow. All right, let's see what else is coming through. You have here the Sun and the Seven of Cups with the Page of Swords. There's still a sense of curiosity about what's going on with you, how you're doing. I do feel that they've come to realize that, when things were good, things were very optimistic. They were happy. There was a positive mindset. but they've gone through the personal growth, or they're either starting the personal growth, or they're in the process of personal growth, or they already went through it. And this is like a new phase or a new period for them now. They do have here the Seven of Cups, and I do feel that the Seven of Cups has a lot to do with this energy here of guilt and regret. I feel that there are moments that they think about the options, this fantasy here. Oh, if things wouldn't have gone that way or that route, I wonder how my connection with Sagittarius would be now after, you know, fill in the blank, after all this time, after, the work that I've done for myself, or the personal transformation or growth that I've gone through. There is this energy here of this person realizing that they did want you to be a part of that connection. They wanted to be part of this connection with you, and again, whomever decided to go their separate ways, I mean, looking at these swords here, there's a lot of thinking. There was a lot of arguing and disagreeing here. A lot of like punishing each other here in different ways. Maybe even creating demands, or creating an environment where there were a lot of limitations. It's like you couldn't, again, then the limitations is all about that. Finding it difficult to feel safe in the space of being able to be honest and transparent, and but I do feel here, Sagittarius, that there's no contact acts. What they've come to realize is, had these issues were taken care of, or different actions or different choices were made, that this level of regret, or this level of what if and I'm sorry or apologies, it would have changed the course of things here. Sagittarius, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, or subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to be part of the live 5-minute readings that I do on a weekly basis, then you need to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell and all notification alerts, as the list gets filled up very quickly. That being said, I hope to see you next time, and take care.